The girls trip has finally made it out of the group chat, and I know you are excited because you are going to Trinidad Carnival. If you are that friend who always wants to get your girls together and you want to plan this ultimate experience, then this video is for you, because not every friend who you want to invite should be going to Trinidad Carnival with you. So in this video, we are going to get into 3 different personality types that you want to be very wary of before you send that group chat invite. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Kanika of Face Candy Studio, where we curate luxurious beauty experiences for women who want to look tasty. Now, before I get into it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and watch my carnival planning playlist for all the little tips on how to plan Trinidad Carnival like a pro. The first friend that you want to be mindful of is the maybe friend. This is the friend who is always down for a trip, is always down and ready to go everywhere, except for when it's time to cough up the money and start putting some cash to the plans. She's the one who, once you say you're planning Trinidad Carnival, she's sending you all the links, she's sending you all the Instagram posts, she's sending you the memes, everything regarding Trinidad Carnival. But then when it's time to pay for that flight, register for your costume, and book that hotel, she is ghost. You want to be mindful of this friend because she is sitting on the fence for some reason. It may be that she really wants to go to Trinidad Carnival and she cannot afford it. She doesn't know if she really wants to go to Trinidad, or if she wants to go to Carnival, or she's trying to keep up with the Joneses, or she's just a big talker. She's all about, oh yeah, I'm there, but then when it's time to show up, when it's time to put action behind her words, she's ghost. Trinidad Carnival requires commitment, emotionally and financially. When you're dealing with someone who is sitting on the fence, like this friend, it creates unnecessary stress and uncertainty. Because when you're planning for Trinidad Carnival, it requires a commitment. You need to be able to have a definite yes and start paying and reserving for things, such as your hotel. You want to get your flights. If you watch any of my videos from before, I discuss how quickly flights get booked out, how quickly hotels get booked out. So if you have a friend who is maybe she's sounding like she's all interested, but then when it's time to start reserving stuff, she either can't reserve or she goes missing in action, then you want to stay away from this friend. Also, you don't want to force this type of friend onto your Trinidad Carnival trip, because if the situation is that she really does not have the money to join you, then guess what? You're going to be the one forking up extra money to make sure that she actually enjoys her experience. Because if she does end up in Trinidad and she did not reserve or book the experience the same way you did, then she is more likely to be the Debbie Downer and bringing down the entire group. And to be honest, someone who is a maybe during the planning phase is really a no waiting to happen. So the last thing you want to do is put down your hard-earned money on anything to reserve for her with the hopes that she will pay you back, only for once the time actually comes for her to pay you back, she says she's actually not going to show up and she's not going to go. Because carnival energy is too high to be dragging anybody along who is only half interested. So my advice, only plan your trip with the friends who are a definite yes. And by a definite yes, they already started booking their flights, they started reserving their hotels, and that is a sure indicator that they will be going to Trinidad Carnival with you. The next personality type to be mindful of is the complainer. We all have a complainer in our group. This is the friend who literally complains about everything. It's too hot. It's too cold. The food took too long. The people didn't talk to us fast enough. My feet hurt. My back hurt. My neck hurt. My eyelashes hurt. Man, I can go on and on. This friend you want to stay 100% clear of, because this friend is going to find fault in every single thing that you do. Think about it. I know you can identify that friend right now. And for the most part, we've probably tolerated that friend, because when you're out and about during your everyday experience, her complaining really does not bug you too much. You know that's what she does. And you probably just say to yourself, that's just how she is. But you don't want to have this friend coming with you on your Trinidad Carnival trip. Why? Because she's going to complain about everything. Now, I'm not saying that Trinidad Carnival is a luxurious resort type of experience or vacation, or it's not even a vacation in my opinion, honestly. But it's definitely not the type of vacation that you want to bring a friend who is going to find fault with everything. There are some things that are going to go wrong. I'm not saying that your entire trip is going to go wrong or that you should expect to not have an almost perfect trip. But what I'm saying is to set your expectations at a reasonable level. This is a massive, massive event that Trinidad puts on every single year, and people from all over the world come to visit. There's bound to be something that just does not go right. And you need to have friends with you who are flexible in their being, flexible in their thinking, and flexible in their expectations. If you have this friend, the complainer, coming with the default of finding the cup half empty as opposed to seeing the cup half full, then she is going to put a damper on an experience that doesn't even necessarily have to be that way. Now, I'm not saying if something goes completely wrong, as in the case of my costume mishap. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my video, Bacchanal. But if it's not something big and catastrophic, then you really need to be able to brush it off your shoulders and keep it moving. And this friend does not have the bandwidth, the wherewithal, or the capability to just brush things off of her shoulders. So this friend, let her stay home, let her complain that the pizza took too long to be delivered to the house, and don't let her come with you to Carnival. The last personality type that you want to stay clear of is the control freak. We all know who the control freak is, and we all know what it feels like to be around a control freak. This is a friend who, she comes off as the planner. She's the one who wants to take the lead. She has a perfectly ironed out itinerary from sun up to sundown, what you're doing every moment, every minute of your day, every day for your Trinidad Carnival trip. This friend has good intentions. She really does. But she lacks the flexibility that you really need for Trinidad Carnival. When you are planning your trip to Trinidad, you want to have the gist of your trip planned. Now, when I say the gist of your trip planned, I mean you want to know the details of your flight. You want to know the details of who's going to be your driver, your transportation, how you're getting from your hotel to the band, from the hotel to the fete, from the hotel to the mass camp. You want to have those logistics ironed out. But you don't want to have the logistics of what time exactly are we going to eat? What time exactly are we going to sleep? What time exactly are we going to fill in the blank? Because then that takes your trip from being a relaxed experience to a regimented timeline and agenda. And you don't want that, nor do you need that for Trinidad Carnival. Carnival is about freedom and letting go and really enjoying yourself. So once you have the core aspects of your trip planned out, everything else is just filler stuff. So imagine you're planning your Trinidad Carnival trip and the main stuff is like your rocks, then everything else could fill in the sand and the water. And you need to have some flexibility with what you sprinkle into the rest of your trip because things are going to happen. That's just reality and that is just life. But this friend, the control freak, she is going to be very uncomfortable and she may even present as a complainer if things do not go her way. Things have to be her way and things have to go as she planned because they thrive on order and structure. And you need to have some flexibility when you are going and planning your trip to Trinidad. So there you have it. 3 personality types that you want to stay 100% clear of. 1, the maybe friend. 2, the complainer. And 3, the control freak. If any of these sound familiar, just take a pause and think twice before you invite that friend into the group chat. Because Trinidad Carnival is not like your typical all-inclusive resort vacation. Carnival is high energy, high vibes, and you need to make sure you curate the perfect travel crew in order to ensure that you are also enjoying your trip. Because when you go to Trinidad, you should feel free and not frustrated. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and watch my Trinidad Carnival planning playlist. I will link it in the description below. And if you have already curated your perfect Trinidad Carnival girls trip and you want to look stunning on the road, book your luxury Carnival makeup experience with the Face Candy Studio team. Spots are limited, so book today. That's it for me. As always, stay beautiful, and I'll see you next time.